Right, you lot, and I know another Ed Sheeran video. You must think I'm so bloody boring, but don't worry, because eventually I'm going to rank all of his albums. Now, there's not anything major to add from the prior videos, but to kind of start my opinion on Ed Sheeran, I think many really missed the point of him, and I think it's amazing that he's an average looking guy with a guitar and loop station who's really become the UK's biggest name. That story for me is magical, and I feel like critics really overlook this man's actual achievement and just kind of reduce him to being the lowest common denominator, which in points that could have been true, but to be honest it really frustrates me. Anyway, I really wanted to do a video looking at his album X. First because for me it's probably his strongest album. I think most fans and critics do agree with that. Well Divide may have been the biggest one, and Plus may have given him the career, and Subtract might have been his most personal one. For me, X took everything Plus was, and sorry for the bad part about mate, but multiplied it in every single aspect. I feel like this album still kind of has that kind of sort of young, over your head feel of Plus, but still incorporates more of kind of the folk stuff as well, but it also adds some more pop and rap elements which you'd see in later albums, so I really think it's kind of the best of both worlds and kind of a massive transition. And for me this was his peak. Although I'm a big fan of the other albums, this for me is his pinnacle. Now for me I'm going to be looking at the deluxe when I do this ranking, mainly because I just really want to talk about the deluxe songs. That's it, I think they're quite good. And just like Eagle, this one was a struggle because for me I absolutely love this album, and for me it's a very equal album. I've done another maths pun, I've not even realised it. For me, Divide and Equals and Plus, it's more clear which ones are the stronger song and which ones are the weaker songs. However, this one is quite they're all kind of on par with each other, and even my worst song here is a 6 out of 10, so let's get on to it. Coming in 15th now, and I'm sorry, I'm really sorry that something has to be at the bottom, just that there. And I put Tenerife Sea. This song has really beautiful, like, small scale to it. I feel it's simple and it's stripped back. It's a love song and it's not trying to be something substantial. It's just a man expressing a level of love he feels. And I think the instrumentation just kind of creates this island, like, tropical feel, and it's gorgeous. So I've been really, like, positive with the song. So why is it bottom? Well, unfortunately, Ed is something of the love ballad master, and unfortunately on an album that has Thinking Out Loud, this one gets left behind. And I think there's a reason that Thinking Out Loud was so much bigger than this. Also, I just feel compared to other tracks, this one just isn't as memorable. So it just kind of takes this spot because it is a very easy skip for me. Although there's a lot of elements of the song that I do actually like, and it's still a 6 out of 10. So don't get too annoyed. I do like the song, it's just kind of forgettable, and I think there's other songs. And I'll do this a couple times throughout this ranking because I feel like he has a few similar themes or songs that are kind of similar, and when he has one of his strongest songs being similar to another song, I'm gonna put that song a few places below just because of the competition. Right, breaking into 14th now with our first entry onto the deluxe album, and I put Even My Dad Does Sometimes. A song that focuses on the idea of men crying, something media doesn't often give attention, and like Tenerife Sea, this song is simple. The production isn't doing anything big, but I don't think it's trying to be something massive. It's very textbook Ed Sheeran, it kind of starts slow and folk, and then the climax is really powerful. However, my issue is, well, I love the subject matter, at times the lyrics can be a bit too blatant and on the nose, which can be an issue sometimes. I also think it doesn't really get going into the halfway point, and like Tenerife Sea, unfortunately it is quite forgettable and probably the least popular song on the album, and I think I can see why. Although I'm really glad he made this, and I feel like it's important and doesn't get enough speaking about it. And to be honest, this was quite equal to Tenerife Sea, but I just thought this one had a bit more of an interesting subject matter and was a bit more memorable in that sense. So yeah, that's why it's 14. But again, it's a 6 out of 10. 13th now, and I think the bottom two were quite obvious going into it. But then actually when I lined up all of the song, I was kind of surprised when I put this one 13. I think I put Runaway. I really think Runaway being 13 just speaks a great deal of how great this album really was. Runaway is a song about being young and Ed wanting to move out, and focuses on career. The vibe is cool, there's a rap verse where the delivery is just really smooth, the hook is decent, and overall it's a solid vibe. The narrative can be intriguing, but for me where it falls slightly is I just find it quite bland and a weaker version of other songs. I think it's a relatable song for many, and it's a good album track, it's a decent vibe, but it doesn't really leave that impact. And for me it is kind of like just filters through, and it is just kind of a placeholder. So unfortunately, because of the level of other songs, I think if this was on maybe something like Divide or Equals or even Plus, I think it could have been a lot higher, but because of the level of this album, for me, it's got to be 13, and it is a 6.5 for me. I know I'm going to piss off a good amount of fans with this one. I put Bloodstream in 12th. Let me explain. People love this song, and I can really understand it. I feel like it's a man broken after multiple relationships turning to drugs, and I think that's something very universal. It's very plus. The instrumentation and kind of the production is very plus-like, and live, I feel like this song is on another level, and I get it when I hear it live, but I'm putting my focus on the studio version for this ranking, so you may wonder why have I put it so low, and I don't really know. It just never really reached out to me. I don't know, I don't really connect to it musically, and it doesn't appeal to me in a sense, and this is probably my worst justification, but it doesn't stand out to me, and that it's always been like that, and I was very surprised to hear that this was one of the more favourite ones. It's just a bit been there, done that. It reminds me a lot of Give Me Love, or like a lot of the stuff on Plus, and I just think that those kind of songs were infinitely better. So unfortunately this one doesn't 100% work for me, but it's still a 7.5 out of 10, so a big jump. Okay, so now we're really on to the songs that I really like. The bottom 4, I like them, but like I can skip them. These top 11 I'm not skipping, and it was so difficult this on, and I want to hammer that in, cause right, so it kills me to put this one 11, but everything onwards is an 8 out of 10, so, and I have put Take Me Back. Ed rapping is something that really shouldn't work, and he has his own interesting delivery, but because it's him, it just kind of works. This song is one of the ones on Deluxe, and it just feels like so much fire, and just, it's got so many empowering lyrics, which is great, considering there's a really negative feel to a lot of this album, and this is such an uplifting kind of track. I feel like he's honest and blunt in this track, and he's saying things that, you know, are true. He's not shying away from anything, and I appreciate the authenticity. And I'm glad that he's doing something completely out there and that it's a standout. However, I think similar to Tenor, if you see, there's 3 songs where he sort of raps, and I think the other 2 are stronger, and for me it's the weakest of the trilogy, so unfortunately it just has to be it because of the kind of things I've said earlier. But I do love this song. I love how down to earth it is, there's no fear in him, and that hook is so gripping. Honestly, it is brilliant, and I'm really happy this exists. However, this placement really just continues to show the level of this album. 8 out of 10 for me. Okay, now we've reached the top 10, and it's a big one. I put Sing. This song was such a diversion from who Ed was at the time, and this was really the first step into turning him into the artist he is today. And it, you know, if this was on the scale of how important the song was, this was undoubtedly the top 3. The song is just such a blast. From second one, it's just an absolute club banger. Like, what he's doing here is like nothing he'd ever done before, and it was so fresh, so exciting, and it really serves its role, and I think it was a good choice as a single, personally. However, when it comes to the ways of like themes and kind of narrative, there isn't much here. It's just kind of Ed at a club, desperate for a girl. But like, I don't think it's trying to be something big, and I feel like you've got to take some songs for what they are, and it's trying to just be fun, it's trying to be a bop, and I think it like kind of succeeds at that. But for me, when you have so many songs later on that really can get you emotional and really can like speak to you on a deep level, this one is just trying to be fun. So for me, it has to be here, just because I think there's better songs that have more deep and emotional kind of feelings. But because of the kind of what it's going for and because of how much fun it is an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Alright, single digits now, and I'm starting to really struggle. I've been struggling the whole time, but this, like, now on is really struggling out. I've gone for Nina. This is such a strong song. What I love about Ed is that many artists will kind of leave details vague for kind of the most mass relatability, which that can be effective, and I think it definitely can speak to a lot of people, but with Ed, and especially on this album, more than ever, it's so specific, so it feels so real. It feels like you really get the sense, like, of this narrative, and from the start you feel that this relationship with Nina just wasn't going to be compatible. It's just so slickly written and it feels so natural and honest. But to be blunt, I think there's another song about a relationship which just stands out more. So really I should have put Nina lower, and I do think it's probably the weakest of kind of the toxic failed relationship songs, which you get a couple of on here, but it's just so cool, and you know, there's not really loads to say really with this one. It's just, I enjoy it. I like what he's going for. The lyrics are really coolly written, and you know, the hook isn't his greatest, and that may be why it fails on the memorability scale, but yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Right, we're in 8th now, and I put the strongest of the deluxe song, and I put Shirt Sleeves. Really is too high, but it's just so raw and vulnerable as we face a heartbroken man having to settle for friend zone. It's so gorgeous and speaks to me more than Tenor FEC could, and I don't understand how this didn't make the main album, because I think it's stronger than Certain Entry. It's so raw and honest, and I think this kind of water sinking boat imagery is something Ed comes back to time and time again, and I love the use of it here. I think this works even more than something like Boat later on. The instrumentation just feels like a ship that is sinking. It's so vivid, it's so well told. I just love it, and I really think Shirt Sleeves doesn't get the attention it deserves. Okay, longest part. It's unbelievable for me, and the more I think about it, the more I probably should have put it higher, because it's so effective at what it is. 9 out of 10 for me. Right, 6th now, and just outside of the top 5, I've gone with The Man. This song is so powerful as Ed details a past relationship and just completely rips into this girl, and now he's moved on. It's such a gangster move, and I feel like when Ed rips into people, as you'll see later, it's just so effective. Like so many songs this album, Ed is broken, a mess, or drowning, but here he's so sure on the past and feels his girl needs. Such a powerful move, however in the end things shift, and I think that's so clever. He procrastinates as someone there, he's guilty and wonders what future could be like, but then he really comes to the position that honestly he is right, and he does discard this idea. It's a bold move, and it's such a substantial moment, and I really think it should have been higher. The only reason I didn't put it in the top 5 is because of the song Don't. It would have been top 3 otherwise. 9 out of 10. Okay, breaking into 5th, we've got the opening track 1. This might be one that I don't think you may have put as low, but it's just a stripped back ballad. However, where this succeeds, where something like Tenor FEC maybe didn't work for me, is in the emotion. This song is a plea to get this woman back. His absolute dedication to her is raw, is gorgeous. His falsetto here absolutely fits the tone. The lyrics are touching, it's such a moment. The man is distraught here, he's not thinking realistically, but that doesn't matter to him. It's a moment that's so substantial and honest, and really this gets me every single time. And I just think for an open track, it's so bold, it's so gorgeous. 9 out of 10. Okay, 4th now, and it has to be Photograph. Photograph is so timeless for me as a song. It's a song of reminiscence, look back to the joy of young love. The chorus is powerful and memorable, and the lyrics hold so much weight here. It's really so close to perfection. I feel like Ed really balances those highs and lows in love. It's so vulnerable, and it feels universal, and it's just real. It's just such a beautiful feeling, and it just encapsulates so many like kind of feelings of young love and beauty, and it's just such a relatable song. I love it. The music video is incredible as well. Number 1 for all but one of the albums. I put At Fire Love. At Fire Love is just this beautiful ode to his late grandfather. He tells the childhood perspective of losing a family member, not understanding why he can't recognise him. Ed's storytelling here is so great and vivid, and the picture is so distinct. I adore how this song progresses and gets stronger as it goes on. This ode is so touching on every level, and it almost got like this heavenly atmosphere to it. There's something so holy about this song, and such a beautiful way of portraying this feeling, and genuinely his most underrated song ever. The emotion portrayed in this song is just so universal. Loss is something we all go through, and I think he just absolutely encapsulated it. I love the arrangement here. It just contributes to something really timeless. It's raw, it's honest, and I really never get bored of it. And that climax, my god, it is just fantastic as he belt. This is one of the best things he's ever created. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Okay, and going into this for me, there was only one number one. And I was certain of this. Come on, you knew it was going to be number one. It's Don't. I feel like this is the one universally beloved Ed Sheeran song. I think even critics of him love this, and you can disagree with any other placement, but I just refuse Don't slander. The verse and vibe is so slick, it's just straight vibes. His brilliant storytelling comes back here as he just rips into a girl who's commonly speculated to be Ellie Goulding, and I'm not going to dive into that, but, you know. She really let him burn, burn, burn. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sorry. I just love his delivery in this song. The bars are crazy as he really rips it apart. The third verse is probably my personal favourite. I like because the story kind of gets more and more extreme and it gets worse and worse for him as it goes along. The use of profanity is also substantial with this one. It's something that he's not afraid of backlash, and I feel like he's so confident in this moment. It's just a song you can never get bored of, and I feel like there's something new to hear every time. The instrument taste is amazing, the backing vocals fantastic. It's just sensational and deserves every bit of credit it's ever received. And of course, this was a 10 out of 10. If you're gonna slander it, just don't, man. And that was my ranking of X. I expect so many angry cops, so please debate this one with me. I love this album. You may be able to see something that I couldn't. I'm definitely going to be doing this for probably Divide, Plus and Equal, maybe even the collab albums at some point as well, because I just think this band's fascinating. Yeah, so that was my ranking of X. I'm quite happy with how that turned out, and I'm gonna, you know, I've not got any big rankings planned up in the music realm, but coming up, music related videos, I'm doing a Taylor Swift related video, which I'm not 100% sure what that's going to be, and I'm also going to do a Taylor Swift related video on You Need to Calm Down. Movie wise, I'm doing a video essay on Monsters University, why that film is so underrated, and very soon I have got my new single for my new album, Golden Years, coming out, which is probably my most exciting project that I'm coming out with. So, anyway, goodbye you lot.